Alrighty folks, here we go. For the sculpin, we use a Gamakatsu B10S stinger hook. Okay, for the rear hook, it's going to be a size 4 UTC 140 Ultra thread. I'm going to tie this one up in yellow. So go ahead and start your thread. We're going to add a piece of Marabou to the tail. The tail should be about the hook shank. And then just go ahead and wrap that Marabou feather up the hook shank. So give it a little bit of a body. Go ahead and clean it up. And once you get it cleaned up, we're going to go ahead and wrap back to the tail. And we're going to add some crystal flash. I just like really 2 pieces. I'm going to tie one in closest to me and then go ahead and flip it over. So you really only need 2 pieces. Then we have 2 on either side. We're going to go ahead and add in a piece of yellow Schlappen. So what I like to do is pull the Schlappen fibers back, exposing just a few on the tip, and then add those in. And then we'll tie in some UV polar chenille. You can tie these in all different colors. Go ahead and throw a half hitch in. And when we wrap these, I like to just lay the polar chenille and the Schlappen right up next to each other. It can be a little bit tricky to get it to lay right. We'll stroke everything back, and then we start our wraps up the hook shank. We're going to palmer those forward. Okay, and each turn I make, I like to pull the fibers back just so it doesn't get caught on itself. If anything gets trapped, you can use your bodkin after and sort of pick it out. I've done it both ways. I find this way is definitely creates a better result rather than wrapping the long chenille first and then doing the Schlappen on top. So I just do it together. Go ahead and trap it. Cut off your excess. And then we're just going to clean it up right behind the eye. We want to leave a little bit of room here. I like to finish it about an eye length away. Then we're going to add some rubber legs. These are like a pumpkin color. I attach one to each side. And you can slow this video down, pause it, rewind it, whatever you need to do. We'll just clean up that top. Then we'll go ahead and throw a whip finish in there, 5 or 6 turn. And then we're going to add a little bit of UV resin. One more for good measure. I trapped a few Schlappen fibers in there. That's all right. You can just pull those right out. Okay, get a nice coat with the UV resin. Hit it with the torch. You can use head cement if you'd like. I just like the UV resin because it cures so quickly. Okay, and then we're going to get our B10S in size 2 for our lead hook. Go ahead and tie in your thread. And for the articulation point, I use a 19 strand Beadalon in bronze color. I got that at the craft store. I think it holds up well. You can also use braided fishing line, but I tend to like the rigidness of the Beadalon. I like to add 3 small glass beads. I also got those at the craft store. They're super cheap. You can buy like a 100-pack for like $3 or $4. So we'll add 3, and then we're just going to add our rear hook. We'll go through the eyelet and then back through our 3 beads. And just make sure that your hooks are facing the same way. We're going to add the fish skull to the bottom of this streamer pattern so that they ride hook up. So we're actually tying it upside down right now. Once you get your Beadalon secured, get a nice thread base, wrap back. We want it to be pretty tight, and we're going to add a few pieces of Marabou just to cover up that articulation point. I like to add 1 to either side. And for this, I like to use just the extras on the Marabou, the stuff that you never use. I've been really trying to not waste feathers lately. You end up just throwing them away. I'm going to add 1 more little piece right on the top here. Might be a little overkill, but I did want that hook shank to be covered up to give it a little bit of body. And since we're on the lead hook, we want to make sure we leave about 2 or 3 eyelets back. When we attach the SCULPIN helmet, we need to have a little bit of space behind the eye exposed so that that SCULPIN helmet can fit on there. We're going to go ahead and add a piece of Schlappen. We're just sort of repeating the same thing that we did on the rear hook. Okay, same thing. Add your polar chenille. And again, you can tie this in various colors. They work great in black, white, olive. This yellow's great. It kind of can be even like a baby brown trout. Go ahead and throw a half hitch in there, and then we're just going to do the same thing. Lay them together, and we'll just go ahead and palmer that up the hook shank, pulling back the fibers on each turn so nothing gets trapped. Okay, we'll just keep wrapping it up, touching wraps, bringing back the fibers each time. You can lick your fingers as you stroke those fibers back. That can help. And we're going to go ahead and end that in about an eyelet or 2 back from the hook eye. Trap your extra, and then you can cut it off. Go ahead and clean it up. And now we're going to go ahead and add some more rubber legs. So 1 rubber leg to each side. The way I like to do it is just wrap them around the thread and then just get them on there. It doesn't have to be too special. Quick and easy. And then for the SCULPIN wings and collar, we're going to use Senyo's laser dub. I like the SCULPIN olive for these yellow patterns. So what I'll do is I'll take a full piece, and I'll get it so all the fibers are going the same way, and then I'll just cut it in half and then add each half to either side. And this fly is going to ride hook up. So once you get that tied in, you can clip off any extra. Remember, we want to keep the bulk down right on the top of this fly. Clean it up. And now for the collar, we're just going to take another piece of laser dub and just sort of pull it out so all the fibers are going the same way. And we're just going to add it right to the top. And I like to catch it right in the middle, fold it back, and then tie down right in front. Then go ahead and throw a nice 5-6 turn whip finish in there. Okay, something I like to do is test the fish skull before you put glue on it to make sure it's going to fit. I've done these a few times, so I know it should be good. A generous amount of head cement. You'll find if you don't put enough, these helmets will kind of fall off. So I like to put quite a bit on there. Okay. And I also like to put a little bit inside of the helmet as well. Okay, put it on there. Make sure your hook is riding face up. And then I'll stretch the laser dub out so it pushes up against the sides on the inside, making sure that it really sticks it on there and secures it. Okay, go ahead and add a little bit of head cement for the eyes. I like to put head cement underneath just a little bit and then get the eyes on, and then throw a little bit of UV resin on top. Okay, get a nice coat on the outside of the eyes, hit it with the UV torch. And then I'll throw just a little bit of a thread dam in front of the helmet, right behind the eye, just to really secure it on there. Okay, you don't need to go too crazy with it. Get your whip finish on. And then a nice generous coat of UV resin on top to really lock it in there. I like to make sure I get UV resin inside, all around on the thread, just to lock it on there. Hit it with the torch. And that is the articulated sculpin. Great pattern for rivers and lakes, for trout and pike. You can tie it in a bunch of different colors. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe for further videos, and make sure to give us a like and a comment on the video. We'll see you next time.